kapamilya, kapuso, kapatid, kaibigan, kabarkada, aking mga mag-aaral. Are you ready for another exciting, fun, and interesting adventure in learning music? So what are we waiting for? Let's get the ball rolling! This is your teacher Frederick Narvas, welcoming you to our episode today about chords and its inversions. Now, are you ready for our lesson for today? I can feel your excitement, but first, let's play Give Me. Identify the missing note to complete the given chord in each number. You are given 5 seconds to answer. Let's begin! Chord number 1, G major. Yes, you're right. The missing note is D. Let's have chord number 2, C major. Perfect! The answer is G. Let's play chord number 3, F major. Yes, it's note C. Let's continue with chord number 4, E minor. You answer it right. We have note G. Finally, let's have chord number 5, D minor. Yes, your answer is correct. We have note F. Congratulations! You've did a good job. You are now ready to have our next lesson. After gathering perfect score from that activity, you are now ready to discuss chord and its inversions. Understanding chords and chord inversion might be one of the most important things you can learn as a musician. Learning chords inversion will help you to unlock important skills that will help you in your musical journey in playing your field of instrument, composition, musical arrangement, and music interpretation. So let's have a look on how chord inversion works. A chord or triad is built up with 3 notes: the root, the third, and the fifth. Let's have our C major chord as an example. In this position of the chord, the bottom note is called root note. It is called root note because it gives the name of the chord we are playing. In this case, the bottom note or the root note is C. We are playing a C chord. In order to have the third note, we need to count 3 notes starting from your root note. If your root note is C, let's count C, D, and E. Your third note after C is E. The same is applied in having our fifth note. The fifth note after C is C, D, E, F, and G. So the fifth note is G. I colored the root note with pink so we can easily understand how these notes are written on the staff. Let me play this chord on the piano.
C, E, and G. C major triad.
The great thing about chord is that we don't need to play the chords in that specific order. We can invert them. So, it will give us the feeling of fun and excitement. We call it chord inversion. In order for us to fully understand inversion, we need to look at the notes of the chord in different orders. Let's shuffle them. For example, in C major chord, we have C as our root, E our third, and G our fifth. If the bottom note of the chord is the root note, it is called as root position. Example, the C major chord in root position looks like this. C as the bottom note, E is the middle note, and G will be top note of the chord. Let me play root position of C major on the piano.
C, E, G. C major, root position.
If the root note is played on top of the chord, it is called first inversion. In this inversion, the third note of the chord serves as the bottom note. Let's check our C major chord. E is the bottom note, G is in the middle, and the root note C is played on top of the chord. Let me show how first inversion of C major is played on the piano.
E, G, C. C major, first inversion.
Second inversion is played with the root note on the middle part of the chord. Let's check the second inversion of C major. C is played at the middle of G and E. Let me play C major second inversion in the piano.
G, C, E. C major, second inversion.
Did you now understand how chord inversions are written on the staff and how they are played on the piano? For us to fully understand it, let's have another example. Check the chord below and let's try to study it applying the concepts we have learned about chord inversions. What do you think is the given chord? Any answer from you guys? Remember that I colored the root note pink so we can easily identify our tonic or the root note of our chord. Our root note is? Yes, right answer. It is F. So our chord is correct. It is F major. If our root note is the bottom note of our chord, it is what inversion? Perfect! It is in root position. Let me show how it is played on the piano.
F, A, C. F major, root position.
In this picture, our root note is now on the top note of our chord. And the third is the note E on the bottom note of the chord. It is in what inversion? You got it right! Our chord is in first inversion. Let's check it on the piano.
A, C, F.
How about this chord? Yes! Correct! This is the second inversion of F major simply because the root note of the chord is played on the middle part of the chord. This is how it is played on the piano.
C, F, A. F major, second inversion.
Wow! You are getting there! Mastering chord and chords inversion. Let me see how far you've gone with chord inversion by answering the activity I'll be giving you. This is G major chord. Simply identify it in root position, first inversion, or second inversion. Are you ready? Let's begin! Chord number 1. Yes, your answer is correct. Second inversion. Bakit? Kasi the root of the note G ay tinugtog sa gitnang bahagi ng ating chord. Yes, root note G is played at the middle note of the chord. How about this chord? Tama! Root position. Bakit? Kasi the root note G ang pinaka-bottom note ng ating chord. Next chord. Tama ulit. First inversion. The root note G is played on top of the chord. Wow! Nakaka-amaze naman kayo. Sa palagay ko, ready na kayo for your next journey towards your musical adventure. After learning chord and its inversion, do you find it important for you? Yes, they are important. Because when you are accompanying, performing, or even recording using your keyboard, it will allow you to move between chords easily, efficient, and effectively. It will also help you create a variety of sound in creating your music. I hope that you learned something about our episode today about chord and chord inversion. That's all for today, my dear students. Our lesson about chord and chord inversion. I hope that you have learned and enjoyed our episode for today. Before leaving, let's be guided with the words of Aristotle. Music has the power of producing a certain effects on the moral character of the soul. And if it has the power to do this, it is clear that the young must be directed to music and must be educated with it. Again, this is your music teacher Frederick C. Narvas. Keep safe, healthy, and happy. I love you guys. See ya!